The Tucson, Arizona City Council and its Democratic mayor are planning to get community feedback in order to take a closer look at a controversial ordinance that deals with the legality of video recording police. The ordinance, which went into effect in April, says officers can restrict people's access to crime scenes or surrounding areas where police activity is taking place. The city says the goal was to deter people from recording crime scenes and posting videos online to turn a profit, but the ordinance, of course, has received criticism from community members and others in the wake of George Floyd's death, who claim the city is trying to crack down on First Amendment rights. CBSN legal contributor Keir Dougall joins us now to talk about this. Keir, let's start with the language of the ordinance. Clearly, it's not just that somebody was there to record the killing of George Floyd. There have been instances where people have recorded police brutality, acts of police brutality. Rodney King comes to mind, Philando Castile. It doesn't matter sometimes. So I don't understand why this ordinance is trying to take away that very small measure of accountability that the police have, that citizens have to hold police accountable. So what does the ordinance state specifically?
So the part that is the most concerning, Vlad, that you just recited for us in the opening segment is the part about restricting the videotaping for commercial purposes. If that's in fact what this ordinance is about, then that would have clear First Amendment problems. Look, the First Amendment protects news gathering activities. A solo individual with a camera is entitled to as much First Amendment protection as CBS News is. But the First Amendment also has some exceptions, and it allows for the police to restrict public access, just the physical presence at a crime scene to avoid interference with or obstructing with the crime scene. This particular ordinance has some good language in it, saying that it is not intended specifically to criminalize activities, First Amendment activities, constitutionally protected activities, and video activities. It seems there may be some confusion about what the language of the ordinance actually says. Certainly language that would say the purpose of it is to prevent citizen journalists from recording some of the scenes that you just mentioned, Vlad. That would be very problematic under the First Amendment.
Keir, the other thing that I thought of when I read about this was issues with privacy, that videotaping in a public environment is totally allowed, or else we wouldn't be able to have, security cameras set up outside of businesses and stuff like that. And then I also considered that the intent was to stop people from profiting from this video, but you don't know when someone's shooting the video if later on they will profit from it, but it gives police leeway to stop people from videotaping before we know their intent. And that seems problematic.
Yeah, that would be. Look, so you raise a whole bunch of very important issues. The First Amendment law, as it currently stands, really treats reporters just like the general public, so that if the general public has a right of access to something like a public forum, like a park or a street or a sidewalk, then a reporter has that access as well. And the news gathering activity is protected. The police should not be able to, the government should not be able to prevent somebody, a reporter, just because they're a reporter, from doing something that the general public would do. And you're right that trying to have the police identify in advance whether or not somebody has a profit motive or might make some money based upon a news report. I mean, look, most of mainstream media does that. They make money and revenue from their news reports and reporting. So that would all be problematic. This ordinance looks like it was attempted to be drafted in accordance with the First Amendment. It has, as I said, the carve-out for protected videotaping and First Amendment activity. It appears to restrict the ability of the police to exclude people from investigation scenes or accident scenes to the immediate area. Now, that'll be in the eye of the beholder. If the police use that authority to extend, the protected area for hundreds of feet away, so that it becomes unrelated to the actual need of the police to protect the crime scene, it would be pretextual and it wouldn't work. There was another aspect of the regulation which concerned me as well. It appears to declare an ongoing emergency, which seems unrelated to, I haven't been to Tucson lately, but generally, we don't have continuous emergencies. That language looks like it could be problematic as well, particularly if it's used by the police to do things other than protect their crime scene, allow them to gather evidence, allow them to take witness statements without, interference from some member of the public or someone holding a camera.
Keir, how would you even enforce something like this? So let's say a citizen comes across a scene, or multiple citizens, as in the case of George Floyd, where we had multiple angles because multiple people pulled out their phones, where you see police officers, engaged in police brutality on a suspect. You take out your phone, so now what? The cops are going to take out their billy clubs and beat you or try to arrest you for filming them committing an act of police brutality? And what would that legal standing be in court? If you're my lawyer and we go to court and I say, not only was I, brutalized by a police officer or roughed up by a cop because I was filming this, you're not only trampling on my physical rights, you're also trampling on my First Amendment rights.
Yeah, Vlad, that's exactly right. To the extent that the police are using the pretext of protecting a crime scene to prevent you from videotaping or observing, and they physically attack you, they would be violating your constitutional rights, and you would be able to sue in court for damages. So that to the extent that it's unrelated to them securing a crime scene and gathering evidence, the police would be violating your rights, and you would have the remedy of being able to go to court and sue.
Really interesting. Keir, thank you very much for breaking it down for us as always. We appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you.